Hey everyone, One Big Boss here, and as you can tell from the title of the video down below, we're talking Resident Evil Remake for the GameCube, coming to all platforms, PC, Next Gen, and Last Gen, in glorious HD. Now, you all saw the video that I posted earlier in the day. It was pretty much like my reaction to the actual game. And the thing of it was, like, a lot of people loved it, and people knew I was joking, but there are a lot of people who didn't know I was joking. They thought that I was 100% serious, but in the comment box below the description box where I put, this is not how I feel 100% about this game, it's just a parody. And that's what it was. It was a parody, and a lot of people didn't understand that. So, I was going to make this video anyway, but I think now it's like I really have to explain my actions and how I feel about this game. And I'm kind of going to like give it to a different angle from everybody else's angle. You know, the company, people itself, the haters, all that stuff. So, pretty much, Resident Evil Remake came to us in 2002 on the GameCube. At the time when it was first announced and I heard it was going to be on the GameCube when I was back as a little kid, I was like, really? This is Nintendo, the family company. They're really doing this? But Nintendo wanted games that were going to help sell the system. And so you got Resident Evil, the remake came out, and it was great. Now, you know, it, of course, did not sell well in Capcom's eyes, and so they asked Shinji Mikami to make Resident Evil 0, and he did. And 0 was originally planned on the N64, and it would have looked great, because if you saw what Resident Evil 2 looks like on the N64, you realize how great and fun and awesome that game is. You know, it's a great, great port. But 0, unfortunately, did not sell well either, so 4 happened. 4 went through at least 3 major changes that I can remember. I think it might be 4, but I'm pretty sure it's 3. And then we got the final product that we all have known about for years, ever since 2004, 2005, if I remember correctly. Now, Resident Evil Remake was everything done right. It took the original game, which was amazing in itself, reworked it, kept it intact, added new stuff, and made it work. There was creepy monsters, creepy atmospheres in the mansion, new areas in the mansion that never existed before. Maybe because of like limitations or anything like that, it was great. And replay value in this game was even more amazing than the original Resident Evil. I gotta tell you, like, there's multiple endings, there's different weapons to unlock, there's different modes to unlock. It's what made the game really great. And it was creepy as hell. The music was just as creepy in this game as it was in the first game. You know, and the atmosphere was darker, there was more places to explore, different enemies to encounter this time around. It was really something amazing. And if ever you read, like, you know, a top 10 list or top 20 list or whatever of games that get remade and that are better than the original and that are said are done right, you would always see Resident Evil on that list. Most of the time you'll see it at number 1 because it really is an amazing remake. Now, I can understand why people might be getting butthurt about this, because everybody, like myself, is waiting for Resident Evil 2 to get remade. Now, a lot of people want Resident Evil 2 as the RE4 engine, but personally, I don't like the RE4 engine. I don't like RE4 that much as a game. Like, I do, but it's not one of my top favorite Resident Evil games of all time. It's in the list there, you know, but a lot of people put 4 up on a pedestal and be like, it's the greatest game ever. And I'm like, no. Like, this game right here, when it came out, is still one of the best games in the series. And honestly, it's not my number 1, because my number 1 is Resident Evil 3. That's my top Resident Evil game of all time. But Remake was amazing. And the problem was, when 4 came out, 4 pretty much, like, stepped on this game, and no one really played it a lot afterwards, or even knew about it. 4 was just something that came out and people were, like, wowed by. You know, and I admit, it was a great game. The survival horror aspect was still there. It was a little more action-y at times, more so than it needed. But personally, I can understand why people are getting hurt, because they want a Resident Evil 2 remake. That's what they want. And, you know, at a business standpoint, I have to look at it, it's like, is that game going to make the money? Meanwhile, though, everybody has been flooding Capcom for years about this remake happening. And they're probably afraid to take chances, because you saw what they did with Darkstalkers Resurrection. You know, they're saying Darkstalkers is not dead, and then everyone thinks Darkstalkers 4 is coming out, it's going to be amazing. And then we just got Darkstalkers Resurrection, which was a couple of the old games done in HD with online play. So I can understand them being worried about this, because this was one of their biggest money makers back in the day. It really helped sell a lot, but unfortunately, 4 kind of changed that, and a lot of people don't know about the remake sometimes, which shocks me. You know, it really shocks me that people do not know about the remake. But I would like a remake of number 2 if this game does well, and that's the thing. I also look at it at the people who never had a GameCube or a Wii, because this game also got ported to the Wii as the archives. I actually have it right down behind me on the shelf. But the archives came out, and not a lot of people knew that it even came out on the Wii. That and the fact that it didn't have anything new. There was nothing new added to the game at all, except for the controls. But it wasn't like the RE4 Wii controls. You just had the controller and the stick, and that was it. You couldn't move or do any of that stuff. But regardless, I think that people really need to understand that this game, yeah, okay, it's getting remade. Am I happy about it? Not 100%. You know, am I mad about it? Not 100%. I'll probably get the game, most likely, because it's an enjoyable game, and it will be on the systems that I do own. But, again, kind of hoping they, like, give us, like, an actual disc-based copy at one point, because we all know the HD games did get those. Umbrella and Darkside Chronicles got the discs in Japan. Code Veronica X HD and Resident Evil 4 HD got a disc as well. I wish I really had those, but importing those things are so damn expensive. But you know, that's the way I look at it. You know, we got this whole new genre of people out there that are discovering Resident Evil, and sometimes that's not the best thing, because some of them think that like 5 and 6 are the best in the series and stuff. Again, you're entitled to your opinion. Like, you know, I totally respect that and everything, but I like these old-time games where enemies didn't drop the items after you killed them. I love the fact that, you know, you had the timer, ammo was scarce, it was creepy, you never knew it was around the corner kind of stuff. And the fact that they built this game from the ground up while leaving the original intact, which that's amazing in itself right there. So, personally, like I said, it's both a good and bad thing in my eyes. If they're going to do the smart thing and use the sales for Resident Evil 2, or people get enough voting for it, or even if the game does bad. If the game does bad as an HD port and everything, which I can't technically say it's like a port, because usually when I say port, it's usually done in a terrible fashion and stuff. Unlike Resident Evil Revelations, which was ported from the 3DS over to the 360 and PS3, it looked great. Not a lot of people probably played it that much, but no one also got butthurt about that either. But because it was a newer game, so apparently in this day and age, it's okay for games that came out a year ago or 2 years ago to get instantly ported in HD. Although I will admit, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker looked freaking fantastic in HD, but that took a while for that game to come out in HD. But regardless, do you think that this is a good idea? Let me know in the comments below. Are you excited about this? Do you think that this could break way to Resident Evil 2? Do you really think Capcom's listening to people? Because honestly, I don't think they're listening. But that's just my 2 cents. What do you think about this whole ordeal? You know, like, do you have, like, when you were younger and you got kids now and everything like that? Like, do you want them to grow up with the classics if they haven't already? Personally, I think that it's a game that definitely needs to be revisited. People should enjoy it, but it's probably cheaper to go up and pick this copy than getting the HD one. And the HD version could look great, you never know. But again, only time will tell. And as of right now, it's only going to be in Japan. I guarantee you, though, it will see a Western release later in 2015. It's definitely going to. But, you know, that's my 2 cents. What's yours? I can't wait to read them, and I hope a lot of people do. And, you know, again, if you haven't seen the reaction video that I did earlier in the day, I'll put a link in the description down below for you all. So, you know, just thumbs up the video, like it, all that jazz. Hit the subscribe button because it's free, and in this day and age, free's a damn good thing. Especially here on this channel, because, you know, I'm not asking for money. Not that people would give it to me anyway. That's not what I do. But, regardless, thanks everybody for watching. I'm One Big Boss, and I will see you all next time.